Hey Tookie crew, this is Ed. I'm over here somewhere hidden in LA. I happen to come to the studio. Fernando, aka MensoOne. How's it going today, sir?
Man, everything's good, man. Can't complain. God bless. You know, it's October 2nd. I'm just focusing on the next move. First of all, the thing that comes on my mind is the tragedy that's going on right now in this world. So I'm happy to express my art and you know, give something back instead of just taking away from it.
And real quick, we got footage of it, but we did meet you at a couple weeks back at the Patches and Pin show with Shop called Quest, where you did a live mural, which came out really awesome. Everything was just freehand.
Appreciate that.
I don't know if you know, but there was a couple people walking by that just stopped and checked out your stuff, and were just asking me questions about it. I'm like, well, he just goes by MensoOne. That's all I know because I met you like that day.
Yeah.
And dude, it was really beautiful. I know we're gonna put a little picture of it up on there.
Right.
It came out really nice.
Awesome, man. Yeah. You guys got to experience, you know, me doing like my art live. That's something I've always really liked. I feel like it's a performance art, especially when there's music being played, either someone performing or a DJ or something, and definitely, most definitely, when there's a crowd around, you know, just the reaction. Like, I don't even see anything. It's kind of going blind. You know, all I see is the art and me going like this, and one of my favorite songs coming on, and all of a sudden I'm just trying to do something. I know I gotta give it my all. I know I gotta, whatever I create, I gotta make everyone love it. All different kinds of tastes of art, you know, because you could do a happy face and then someone will love it, and then someone else might be like, oh boy, that thing's dumb, you know. So I definitely like to put everything I can into my art, and with the vision of it being for everybody, you know, and it could mean something for anything, for everybody. It could be for a birth or for a death, you know. You could look at it and we could all kind of contemplate. I'm not really lost in my own little world when it comes to the art. I'm trying to do it for everyone else, you know, and besides myself. So I'm glad that you guys got to experience that. You guys seen it from a whole different angle than me, so it's cool that you guys document it, because I think documenting is very, very important. I feel like one day kids will open up books and you know, get to read about all these different artists, you know, including myself perhaps, and almost like if we were opening up these books and looking at like Picasso's and Basquiat's and, you know, Michelangelo's, and so I think it's real interesting. I think everything that we doing today could be historic. So if you do something that can make an impact, or you know, where you take your talent and you set a platform to build a community out of it, and you have like a power right there. You know, almost whatever I say might be something that could inspire or influence somebody. And with that, I mean, that's just what they always say, is that's when you know you've done your job, you know?
Yeah. And real quick, I have to ask this question, because we know you did that really sweet mural. Whole side of a building. How do you tackle something that big?
Man, I'm still tired from it. I don't know how my friends do it that dedicate themselves to just doing murals like every single day, every single week. Over time, you know, it's something where you have to work kind of smarter, not harder. So you have to develop, you know, techniques, skills, you know, adapt to like the way that'll make your job easier. So then you could bring in, you know, anything from technology, projectors, computers, cameras, you know, all that stuff. You could start renting big equipment, you know, scissor lifts, you know, stairs, all that kind of stuff. You could start having other helping hands, you know, come through and do the, you know, the background painting, and, you know, you can kind of direct. I mean, the list goes on of all these different, you know, things you could add, you know, to get the job more easily done. I approached this mural, the Break Bread project in Inglewood, a different way. I kind of wanted to just go back to the, you know, my roots of just doing a whole wall by myself, using a spray can as my measurement, using my hands, just the look to try to place everything, and just trying to do it off the top of my head. Because what I wanted to experience, myself giving, you know, my blood, sweat, and tears. You know, I think that's what actual passion, part of it is I wanted it to feel the sweat. I wanted to feel real tired at the end of the day. I wanted to feel exhausted from putting something out there. Like, I didn't want to just do something and then just keep walking. Like, I wanted it to be tired, because then I knew that that's when there was some hard work that went into it, and it was going to be able to be seen by detail and by whatever the vision wasn't complete. This was also a reason I did it, that because I felt like I was some kind of modern day prophet trying to unveil a message during these times. I have a huge heart. It could be taken different ways. It could be taken as I'm a soft person, or it could be taken as I'm a tough motherfucker, because, excuse my language, it's just that's how I look at things. I don't just think it's just, oh, it's graffiti again on a wall. I wanted it to do something where it definitely was going to bring us all together, and at a time of devastation, politics, racism, natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, mass murders, fucking, suicide bombers, like all the stuff, like compiled, like, and together in one. I mean, what could you possibly do that morning if you knew everything was going on? Like, are you gonna just post another picture of another hamburger? Are you going to post another picture of new shoes you bought? Are you gonna post a picture of a butterfly on a flower, or are you going to post something that is not selfish? Perhaps something that just says whatever the last current event was. Like last night, Las Vegas. Like this morning, instead of posting your morning coffee, like if you posted your morning coffee besides actual something that really meant like something in the world, like like all these people that lives got lost, then it kind of just shows the kind of person you are. And I feel that you definitely are going to make a difference in the world and your community and your neighborhood and your family if you just kind of put all that stuff to the side and kind of be like, hey, you know what, man, do you need some help? Like, do you need some water? Do you need some bread? Do you need some food? Like, oh shoot, maybe let's donate to these people that are in need, because we're fortunate enough to be right here standing just safely, sound and clean. And on the other hand, there's people that are devastated with gun wounds, families that are crying, who've lost their loved ones. So I guess what I'm trying to do is just I'm trying to be the change in this world that I see that I'm living in. And I don't have children, but if I were to have one, I would want them to have a world that's a little more safer to live in, So I'm using my God-given talent first and foremost to I guess just to say my message. It's not you don't have to be religious. You don't have to act, be someone that follows God or nothing like that. I'm not trying to be like a preacher of that end. I'm just trying to say the world alone is our place where that we all consider it our it's our place, so yeah, I mean,
we all gotta take
all together. I think if everyone contributes, whether they have a talent or a good head on their shoulders or some kind of work ethic or anything that has to be a positive towards such a negative atmosphere that we're surrounding ourselves with at the moment is I think it's a beautiful thing. So I think that's my mission right now, is just to make my art powerful to where it leaves a statement. And at the end of the day, whether my art was talented or not, or people liked it, I just want to be a good person, because that's what will leave a legacy behind. When we do, God forbid, if our time comes, people could look back at me, myself, and other people who are doing good in the world and be like, man, that guy was a stand-up, noble, hardworking, good guy. And then also I could leave my art behind to share with the world as well. But that's what's most important to me, is my art, that mural, all that stuff to get all put into one is just pretty much my passion, explaining how I feel in this time.
Nice. Real quick, I just want to ask you, like, what inspires you, man? Like, what got you doing this?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're very creative. You have a lot of outlets. Um, yeah, if you just give us a little insight on that.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I grew around a lot of, it was a small town, Escondido, California. It was a small little culture there of, gang, you know, culture. So, and at that time, gangs had their dialect, they had the writing on the walls, their lettering, their script, and their old English. All that stuff is what I loved. And my dad was already an artist, so I feel like he just gave me that, in my blood. So I had art in me. So first I was drawing cartoon characters, and then it turned into the gang lifestyle dialect. And then I moved to a town called Temecula, which brought me, and introduced me to punk rock, skateboarding, BMXing, that style of stuff. So it was kind of like a melting pot. And then I started hanging out in LA all the time because, the graffiti art and, the hip hop era. So art was always like my universal language. I could always be in any kind of like atmosphere, different cultures, and it always had me, and a way I could just get into all these different crowds and kind of like make friends with all these different people. So I took all those different inspirations from Southern California lifestyle, music, culture, and kind of meshed it all into one. Being, I guess, from a Catholic background, and there's always a lot of like, religious looking, including the stained glass and, Virgin Marys and, crosses and clouds and all that godly stuff. And so you'll definitely notice that in my work a lot. But yeah, definitely, I just, every single day, whatever I do, whatever I see actually inspires me, and definitely people inspire me. So I like to sit down and get deep and like, hear a person's background and hear where they have to come from and where they've been, because I know it's not all about me, and that's kind of like what inspires me.
Nice, man. Real quick, if I'm just barely finding out about you right now and I want to see your stuff, where can I see your stuff?
I mean, I'm a pretty well-rounded artist, so I mean, you're gonna see my stuff on, graffiti art. I've done a lot of trains, I've done a lot of walls. I'm starting to do that again. For 10 years, I did tattoos, so you'll see my work, on tattoo-wise, you'll see it all over people's skins, hundreds of people. You'll see my art on T-shirts, on graphic designs. I always do the hand drawings for a lot of brands, including my friends' brands, and you'll see it on the shirts. And I mean, the list goes on, because really I'm just a creative person, so I've done a lot of stuff that like where my art could be seen. Instagram is like the main, social media that I run with, and I display most of my work. I had a website for my own stuff before, and even an app that you could download, but now I have a brand called Stupid Fresh, so I'm building that brand up on. You can go to that website, and that one's called getstupidfresh.com. Right now it's just nice and sweet. I've been campaigning Stupid Fresh for about two years now. I'm not in any hurry to like put a bunch of stuff out, because I've noticed that there's a lot of brands that just been coming and going. I want mine to be a classic, mine to be timeless. I'm gonna take my time, so when I do something and it comes out exactly the way I want it. Stupid Fresh, I hope to build that community I was talking about, people who follow me, people who support my art. I want to create something for them to give back to them, and then hopefully have something to like, fall back on to, make an income off of selling merch.
All right, but real quick, man, before we finish off, we just want to know where you're gonna be live anywhere. Where can we find you out on the street?
You know what? I'm gonna be working on another big mural. I'm not gonna stop on the murals. I'm gonna paint a lot of walls. I'm gonna definitely have people in the community involved when I do the mural. I want to post it, let you know where I'm at. I want people to come be part of the experience and the process. I want to have them involved. I'll even write your name up on the wall, or have you help me paint it with me. inspire just any artist if they want to come up, or just any just regular person, a photographer, anyone really. You want to shoot a music video in front of it. I want everyone to be involved in my projects. I definitely enjoy that. I like hearing the people's reactions, and it's been a great time doing that. I have all kinds of art shows and art projects coming up. So I mean, it's really overwhelming, which I'm thankful for. I think if you do follow me on my Instagram, it's a cool story to follow and see how it unveils, because I'm just an artist that's just been hard at work, just trying to pursue his dream, and it's barely taking off. It's on almost the beginning of what will be cool to see, what it comes down to in the future. So even myself, I'm excited to see where I'm gonna be at. But yeah, I mean, this week we're doing a PBR, Dia de los Muertos art show. That one's coming up on Tuesday. It's in Silver Lake. What else we got going on? We got a big project at a huge legendary record studio called Record Plant Studios right here in Hollywood. I'm gonna be doing an entire mural in a studio there. It's where all the legendary musicians have painted at. I mean, I've recorded at, like Bob Marley, Diana Ross, Rod Stewart. I mean, you name it. All the greats have been through that place. Like, just to name a few. I mean, John Lennon, Paul McCartney. You go down a Lil Wayne. You name it. Lady Gaga. Like, all the greats are in there, and they've been in there. So my art will be seen by all these people that are doing their creative thing. And I think it's going to open up plenty more doors and opportunities. And I want to thank everyone that's helped me, get that project going.
Oh, nice, man. Real quick before we leave, is there any shout-outs you want to give out to anybody? I mean, you got
shout-outs. I definitely want to shout you guys out for taking the time to coming all the way out here. You guys would have drove miles. And as far as you guys had to drive just to come meet with me. You guys barely met me. You guys took your time out to come meet me. I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm nothing special. I mean, I happen to have a little talent, and I'm just doing what I love to do, So what I've always done is I've been defiant, just like that documentary that came out is a perfect example. I mean, it's just the people that were behind, pursuing their dreams. They just had to come to a point where, like, okay, I'm gonna do this now. I'm not gonna follow these rules anymore. So I think if you just kind of get that mentality when it comes and you feel frustrated and you feel like, damn, I don't know what the fuck, or what am I gonna do next? I'm just stuck with this dead-end job. Like, if you feel like you might be a designer, you might be a rapper, you might be a professional skateboarder or something, like, just do it. Get out there. It's not gonna hurt to do it. If you fail, do it again. If you fail, do it again. You're only going to learn from your mistakes. And most importantly, just, big shout out to everyone that's just trying to be a good person, Everyone that's trying to take their talent and display it and do good in the world with it, You could even have like a bad mentality. I don't even know how to explain it. You could even have like a bad outlook on something and do art and still be a good person. You know what I mean? Like, there's different ways. So right now I feel like the world is really ending. So I mean, what would you do if the world was ending, tomorrow, today? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to make something of yourself? You're going to go out and do something? You're going to help somebody else? Or are you just going to stay, like, hidden behind a door, like, eating your cereal, like, watching the news, what I mean? I just think that's not the way to go out. I think the way to go out would be to, like, helping out somebody,
I get you. Well, Fernando, thank you for taking time out of the day for us to come and interview you. Two Geek Crew, follow them, MensoOne on Instagram. This guy's going to be making waves. Just check him out, guys. Laters.
Peace.